My name is JustinH21. I'm from Goodman Church of Christ in South Haven, Mississippi. Coach said it was going to happen all week. He stressed that, as if he had never stressed anything before and it was his first time. He said we were going through the motions of practice, and Friday night it showed. The ref said it was the worst game he ever saw. He said that we gave up. That's what the ref said to my coach for my first varsity high school football game. He said that the leaders didn't lead and that we gave up. I'm going to read Amos 5:21 through 23. I absolutely despise your festivals. I get no pleasure from your religious assemblies. Even if you offer me burnt and grain offerings, I will not be satisfied. I will not look with favor on your peace offerings or fattened calves. Take away from me your noisy songs. I do not want to hear the music of your stringed instruments. The Israelites were going through the motions as if they were doing it right. They did it just to check off a box, and they did it without purpose. Worship is not just at church. It's what you do in your everyday life. And the Israelites were stealing from the poor. They had this love of money that made them do things that they shouldn't have done, and they did things at all costs. So how do you fix that? Well, let me read Amos 5:24. Justice must flow like torrents of water. Righteous actions like a stream that never dries up. Just think if someone were to pull out in front of you in traffic and cut you off, and you said something that you didn't mean to say, or you honk your horn at them out of impatience. You got to go down to the basics. Love, patience, and self-control. Back to my football story. They got the ball first. I played kickoff. So my first play of varsity football was finally here. I was nervous. I was anxious. I had so much adrenaline running through my body. I couldn't feel a thing. I could have got shot for all I know. I wouldn't have felt a thing. We kicked it off first, so we were down the whole time. We stayed close with them until the fourth quarter. Keep in mind, they had less than 30 players, and we had around 50. We gave up. That's what the ref told our coach. That's why it was the worst game he said he had ever saw. So I'll tell you how coach fixed it. 7 a.m. the next morning, we had film. He pointed out every little mistake that there was, and the film showed that we gave up, bright as daylight. And practice was just the basics that next week. We had to go back to our roots, because our roots is what keeps us grounded. Now, because of all the humility that we had on that team, we were able to correct our mistakes. And our outcome was really great. Our outcome is that we had 2 straight shutout games in a row. And it was all because an outsider, which would be the ref, had to come tell our coach what we were doing wrong. We had to fix it. And as you can tell, it worked. Amos was called from the southern part of Judah to the northern kingdom of Israel to change the Israelites' worship, stop them from going through the motions. Imagine a guy from New York coming down to Mississippi and telling us that we don't need to enjoy hunting or sweet tea. How would you react to that? You probably wouldn't listen for a while, wouldn't you? You'd probably be stubborn. So what I encourage you to do is to walk in someone else's shoe. See what they're seeing. Put yourself in their perspective. Watch your film. Analyze how you could have done better in your situation that you had when someone cut you off in traffic. And win a bigger game than just football. Win the game of life. Us, as Christians, we have 2 ultimate goals: to get to heaven and take as many people as we can with us. We cannot do that if our worship is hypocritical. Everyone on my team had to change for a result. Everyone in the church has to change. Everyone in the church has a role that they have to play in order for the church to be successful. The church needs you. The church needs your change. Be the one to make the change. As you saw in verse 24, it said to keep the waters and streams rolling with justice and righteousness. That is our job as Christians, is to keep that water flowing and to change the world one step at a time.